We're a few weeks into 2012 now, and we can begin to see some market trends for the beef markets. Here to explain those, Derrell Peel. Derrell, what's going on with beef? And it seems like things are going really well.
We've started the year awfully strong on cattle prices across the board. Box beef is a little bit different. It's actually gone down, but now starting to come back up. And I think that's more of a monthly kind of a thing that it often does. But in general, these markets have started very strong. Feeder cattle prices are well above a year ago, as are fed cattle prices. Cull cow prices are strong compared to this time last year, so we're just really starting off in good shape.
Now, in general, those numbers are good, but let's break it down sector by sector. How do things look there?
Well, obviously, some people are buying and some people are selling at these high prices, and so you have to look at the margins of the different sectors. Obviously, the cow-calf sector, if you're selling calves this time of year, you're selling at an extraordinarily good price. Stocker margins are generally pretty good as well, even though it is a margin thing. But, once you go above there, the feedlot sector right now has, they may be close to break even, but they're looking ahead to some very narrow margins with these very high price feeder cattle and high feed costs. And perhaps even worse in the short run here is the packing sector. Because we have seen some weakness in box beef, and in general, box beef hasn't gone up as much as fed cattle. That has really squeezed that packing margin. And so that's going to continue to promote some sort of pushing and shoving amongst those sectors as we go forward in the next few weeks.
All right, so some of those margins are really tightening up. Can you talk about what's really driving the background factors that are really making all this happen?
Well, I think the number one backdrop, of course, is something that's been coming for a long time. We have limited cattle numbers. That's supporting the cattle prices directly, but more fundamentally now, we're looking at decreases in beef production. The ability of this industry to continue maintaining the level of production really ran out at the end of 2011, and so we're projecting every quarter of 2012, we're going to see a 4% plus or minus decrease in beef production, and have that much of a decrease on an annual basis, and we have not seen that up until this point. So those limited supplies are going to put even more pressure on retail prices, and then we have to see how high they can go, how fast they can get there, and what that will do to let the other sectors adjust to that and support these higher prices that we have.
Okay, now you talk about limited supplies. Shifting gears slightly to a different limited supply, the hay report came out just, I guess, last week. How does that look?
Well, it's January. We're still got a ways to go in winter, and I think one of the reminders out here is with these high prices, we still have a lot of challenges from the production side for cow-calf producers in particular. We're trying to get through the winter. The hay report that USDA came out with showed that even though we have imported and bought enormous quantities of hay in the southern plains, Oklahoma's December 1 hay stocks were down 38%. Texas was actually down 60%. From a year ago. So it says that we've been feeding this hay as fast as we've been bringing it in. We've still got a lot of challenges here to get through the winter. And of course, even though we've gotten a little bit of rain here and we're getting a little bit of wheat pasture, we're still basically in drought conditions, and it remains to be seen how we're going to go into the spring period in a couple months here. And so we still have to be pretty careful about our management going into that time period.
All right, so with those limited hays, we're still very vulnerable.
Absolutely.
All right, Derrell, thanks for joining us. And if you'd like to take a look at that hay report, you can find it on our website, sunup.okstate.com.